recording.
Yes, thanks for reminding. Yeah. Okay, so good morning, everybody. On this third day, on this last day, fourth day of our presentation season number 3. Semester 3 students are making the presentations here. And after completing the presentations of modernist literature, American literature, post-colonial literature, now on the last day you are going to make presentations on English language teaching, ELT paper presentations you are going to make. This is the first slot, morning slot, 10 to 12. And today in this slot, these students are going to make presentations, and they are Amit, Asha, Bharti, Dhara, Dharti, Hansa, Hareshwari, Hina, and Hitixa. These students are going to make presentations in this this slot. Let me give you a reminder that you have to do peer and self-evaluation. I hope you might have done peer as well as self-evaluation of everybody in the online form. If you have missed out anybody, please make it out that check your mailbox. In your mailbox, auto-generated email might have been received, and see that you have given proper marking to everybody. Self-evaluation also is to be done. Don't forget that. I hope you might have uploaded your PPTs in Google Classroom also. So while you are making the presentation live, I can open your PPTs in Google Classroom and also evaluate in that. Rubric-based evaluation we are doing in Google Classroom. So I hope you are receiving the email notification about what marks you have received in your presentations. Any grievances or any issue you have, put a screenshot in WhatsApp message so we can do the analysis or discussion, or further questions if you have, then also we can do that. Okay. So now I request Hitixa to start with the presentation. Yes, Hitixa.
Yes, sir. My screen is visible, sir.
Yes, it is visible. Yeah. So, okay.
Okay, sir. Can I start?
Yes, start. Yeah.
Good morning to all of you. Today
But
I am
still,
present.
yeah, still there is only screen visible. Your PPT is not visible yet.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Just a minute.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. No, it is again not visible. Now I think
Sir?
you have to reshare again. You have to represent again.
Yes, sir. One second.
Yeah.
It is visible, sir.
Screen is visible, but your PPT. Yeah. Okay. Now it is visible. Yes. Now. Okay. Yeah. I'll start. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Good morning to all of you. Today I am present paper English language in teaching. So my topic is role of teacher in learners. We all know that all students have had hundred of teachers in their lifetime. They remember only a few teachers because teachers are expectedly or good teacher. So let's start. First of all, introduction. Students have had hundred of teachers in their lifetime. Teacher on a impact in their teaching. Learning is a change in the way an individual thinks, act, and feels. Learning takes place through experience involving people, things, and events, and the depends on these. Role of teachers. Teachers play a very vital role in the lives of students in their classroom. Teachers are best known for the role of education. Beyond that, teacher grave many other roles in the classroom. The role of teachers in this method is the role of the learner who leads an orchestra that play a nice and regular tune that wins the administration of the audience in a teachers because of this harmony. uh, Develop teacher skills, teaching knowledge like resource. Uh, One of the top roles a teachers must fill is that of a resource specialist. There will be many people who will come to the teacher seeking information, even if the person is only seeking information. Support. Students are the ones who need support when learning a new skills or a piece of information. A teacher must act the support person when the student needs this help. Support can come in many forms, such as a coach, a leader, and even a counselor. Mentor. One of the biggest roles a teacher may have that of a mentor. Students look up to teacher and may pattern their own behavior and work and ethic to match the instructor. Helping hand. A leader in a school is a person who takes on extra tasks such as teaching the PTA meeting and even helping set up a gum for a big event. Teachers who are active in the school will often have more jobs than just the one they were had to perform. Role of learner. Uh, First of all, participate in classroom. Second, discussion of classroom. Third is act receptive manner. The modern learner centric learning situation, the learner takes up the prime role and actively engaged in the learning process. The role of a learner in a learning situation or a process is a very important and challenging role. A learner should be a good listener, thinker, interpreter, instructor, etc. The teacher's role is passive and learner by listening and following the learning instruction provided by the teachers. There are some characteristics of teachers and learners. Teachers as a learner, teacher as a facilitator, teacher as a assessor, teacher as a manager, teacher as a evaluation. Learners characteristics. Learning involves chance. Learning involves action. Learning require interaction. Constitution learning. Learning is a lifelong process. Conclusion. A role of teacher must feel is that of a learner. Anyone who has been involved in a profession long knows that there is always something new to learn. A teacher is a person who will have to fill many roles. They are people with educational leadership skills, and they must continue to grow and develop as a profession. There are some references. Thank you.
You know that in references you have to have maintain alphabetical order. Yes,
Yes, sir.
Hitixa. So these simple errors now is not expected. You are in semester 3. That also you are completing now. And now, if you will not learn, you will learn never. You will never learn if you will now not learn this. Okay.
Yes,
Uh,
sir.
okay. Fine. Yeah. Okay. Next, who is the next presenter?
Me, sir.
Ha. Yes.
Am I audible? Hello. My screen is visible.
Yes, it is visible. Yeah.
Okay. Hello friends, good morning. Today I am going to present about my topic ELT in technology, ELT teaching and learning. Introduction of how to use ELT. The use of ELT has become an important part of learning process and in and out of the class. Every language class usually use some form of technology. Technology has been used to both help and improve language learning. Technology enables teachers to adapt classroom activities, thus enhancing the language learning process. It is continues to grow in importance as a tool to help teachers facilitate language learning for their learners. Use of technology as a teacher and learner. Uh, Technology users in fundamental structure change that can be integral to achieving significant improvements in productivity used to support both teaching and learning. Technology infuses classroom with digital learning tools such as computers and handheld device. Then also has the power of translation reading by using in a new model of connected technology. This model links teacher to their student and to professional contact resources and system to help them improve their own instruction and personalized learning. Then online learning opportunities. It is also the opportunity to use upon educational resources and technology can increase educational productivity by uh, productivity by accelerating to rate of learning reduction lots associated with instructional material or program delivery and better utilizing teachers time. uh, then these are the tools which is used in online platform. First is blogger. Uh, read, uh, Blogger is important things to teaching English language and learners. Second, Google Drive. Third, Chrome tab. For Facebook, Twitter, Google Sheet, Google Doc, Google Slide, Google Meet, digital library, Google Classroom, DigiLocker, Yahoo Game, YouTube. These are the tools which we use in English language and language teaching. Then innovations in language teaching technology. Technology is very much part of language learning throughout the world at all different level. Innovations in language learning technologies helps create to more independent learners who stay motivated and get the result they are looking for. Then some of the adventures learning teachings are first engagement is very important. Then improvement in academic ability. Then a paradigm shift in teaching and learning. Then assessment shift is very important. Adventures. Then collaborative teaching. Enhancing is important things. Then lower learning anxiety level. These are all adventures is innovating in language learning technologies. Then innovation in language learning teaching. First is a digital platform. Digital platform help teachers and students to create a space in which teachers and learner can connect, ask questions to enhance learning, host your classes on the cloud, and create different type of assessment. And also when we see discuss ELT, these are the digital platform on our mind. Facebook, Google Classroom, and all these app. Then online online continuous professional developments. The internet has made possible that teachers connect with other teachers to ask knowledge, see knowledge that will make a difference in their lives and in the lives of uh, those they teach. Then online corpora. A corpora is a collection of text. Corpora, plural term of a corpus, refers to electronic authentic uh, language database that can be available via internet or a software installed in desktop. Then fourth is mobile learning. This is a develop of technology uh, and the proliferation of smartphone has enabled many of us to access the internet and huge variety of all on the go. Then communication with people's online. These are numerous ways to communicate online with people outline the classroom. These are some of most used tool to communicate. We in current time we use Skype app, Zoom, and Team Meet, etc. We use in pandemic situation. Then online authentic material. We all are find online authentic material in digital platform. These are some of the digital resource that you should check out: Facebook, YouTube, and etc. Then video conference. This is important tools in technology learning and teaching continuously to be a highly efficient way to inviting visitor into classroom and for enabling learners to collaborate with each other at distance. Then virtual language environment. This is a very important innovation uh, in technology. A virtual language environment in educational technology as a web-based platform for the digital aspect of a course of study, usually within educational material. Then mobile technology. Mobile technology is everywhere, and you can argue that mobile phones are what they offers are by far more entertaining than the average class. Then blended learning. This is the we all are using that blended learning in online platform. Same 1 to 4 students all are using that. This is an educational program formed formal and non-formal that combines online digital media was traditional classroom methods. It requires that physical classroom methods. It requires for physical presence of both teachers and students with some elements of student control over time, place, path, or pace. Then some are the benefits of learning the English language. First, memory improvement, then improve listening skill, then education enhancement, better employment opportunity, increase the travel opportunity, broaden entertainment opportunity, assist in learning other language. These are benefit of learning the English language. We offer of some reality functions, aspires student positivity, give the wider knowledge and give all information which important to English language teaching. These are the references. Thank you.
Okay, fine. Yeah. Questions for this put in the chat. Okay. The students who want to ask questions put in the chat, and Hina or Hitixa, don't forget to reply. Yes, Asha has asked one question to
Okay.
Hitixa. So please reply to the question in the chat. Okay, next one is Hareshwari. Yes, Hareshwari, are you there?
Yes, yes, yes.
Ha, yes.
It is visible.
Yes, please continue. Yeah.
English opens doors for you. Examples, business, study. Important of the English language is very important in the life. English is the language of knowledge, science, and technology. English is the language of liberal modern thinking. English is our window on the world. English is the link language. English is the liberal language. English is the language of reasons. English is the English is the linguist reasons. English is the linguist Franca. Role of the English in India. After 1947, institutions and instruments were retained in India. A new nation symbolization the emergency. It a symbolization pride, new value and power as well as new nation language. There was yearly aspirations if represents to make Hindi as national language, but English was officially language. Finally, Hindi was selected as a Devanagari script because of a multinational character of India. Officially language of the start with provisions for continued use of English language. English in India. English language is global language. English is not our mother tongue. It is a language of England. English is a necessary thing because each and every field required English language. English is language of power. The survey in this modern era, it is a necessary to a required basic knowledge of English language. The English language, the language of business and science, the language of the sky and the sea, the language of tourists, the language of communication, the language of foreign literature, the language of foreign culture, the language of computer and the internet. English language in internet field in the computer, phone and every use the English is very important. The use of English in India is on the basis of the science needed of functions of English India, auxiliary, supplementary, complementary, and equality. A growth of English in India and for its benefit, English in India has indeed made it a hung advantage and make it India level higher. English language in internet use any app, blogger, slide share, and Google Class, everything. English language, Raja Ram Mohan Roy, best example in the English Indian citation, web citation. Thank you.
Yes, Hareshwari, you have to make the presentation of yesterday also.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so please continue so we can take your turn right now only.
Okay. Salman Rushdie, born on 19 June 1947 in Bombay, Kashmiri India, who is a British citizen. Genre is a magic realism, satire, post-colonialism. Subject of written are a historical criticism and a travel writing, famous for his essay and novel. This is our Midnight Children is the best novel of the Rushdie, and Midnight Children is the movie and novel, both of you. Introduction of the imageries homeland. Rushdie definition of the Margaret and identity and the theme of India, diaspora, imaginary homeland. The imaginary homeland is a collection, essay, review, and interview which were made for 1981 to 1996. Imagery homeland essay divided in a 6-part. The essay, The Midnight Children, Politic of India and Pakistan, Indo-Anglian literature, movie and television, experience and Margaret India, Margaret to Britain, search for elections, questions of Palestine. Rushdie is his essay and ironies of culture, film, politicians, the Labour Party, religions, fundamentalisms in America, regions, situations, and the prejudices of the imaginations and of the free expressions. Sometimes we feel we are straddled to a culture, at other times that we fall between two stools. Conclusion. His way, Salman Rushdie gives his critical idea on different subjects. From this subject, he shows some facts of India, Britain, and Gandhi. Also show his power of critical analysis, thought, imagery, homeland. Salman Rushdie is the best novel, Midnight Summer. Thank you.
Okay, fine. Yeah, next one is Hansa.
It is visible, sir.
Yes, visible. Yeah, please continue. Yeah.
Dear my friends, my presentation topic is audio language method. What is method? Method tends to be primary concerned with the teacher and student role and behaviors. It is generalization set of classroom specification for accomplishing linguistic observation. It is a tool to reach a goal. There are some method like grammar translation method, the direct method, the audio language method, the silent way, Suggespedia, total physical response. Here I am going to deal with audio language method. Audio language method. So audio language method. Audio language method. The audio language method was developed in the United States of during world. At that time, there was needs for people to learn follow language repeatedly for military purpose. It is also called as army method. Continue. It is a method of follow language. It tempers the teaching of listening and speaking before reading and writing. Teacher uses dialogue to make class activities. Sometimes teacher uses mimicry and action, picture or visualization of particular thing. Grammatical structure taught by intuitively by funny way. This is a teaching sense learning activity and material are carefully controlled. Teacher focus on pronunciation the beginning by listening to how it is a support to sound. A student should be able to mimic the modern. Sometime if student don't understand properly, then teacher repeats this line several times. Then student make mistake. It should be immediately corrected by the teacher. Many times positive reinforces helps the student of develop correct habits. The teacher says very good, then the student answer is corrected. Advantages: all student activity in the classroom with the repetition of dialogue or speaking. The speaking and listening skill are better dream. A student like it and take starting in this type of activity, developing the separations of the language skill. Atmospheres of class was more interesting and lovely. Advantages: there are some advantages also. This method like uh, teacher are simply not explained ideal grammar skill it untried. Big basis it history learn having a little control over their learning. Conclusion: audio language method is very important and interesting. Student can get easily and learn fast thing.
Okay, Hansa, Dharti now. Okay, next presenter is Dharti.
Yes, ma'am. Tell Hello, everybody. I'm Bharti Makwana from the Department of English, Maharaja Kumar Khanaguri University. So today I'm going to talk about a very good term, or it's the innovative term which is foreign teachers are using for from the science. That means for years, like Suggestopedia. This is one of the term, or we can say a method which is used in the foreign language teaching. So I'm going to talk about. So first one is how objective of the my presentation to enhance the reading comprehension level of the English at the secondary level and to enhance learners' language ability in English at the secondary level and to enhance effective performance level in the student at the secondary level and to make effective and stressless classroom process of learning that how the students are interacting participating in every activity and every session or every. So, Sergei Ozhinov, he has founded this term, Suggestopedia, which is developed by the Bulgarian doctor and psychiatrist Ozhinov. It is a term which is very good used by this doctor or we can say a psychotherapist and he knows as a father of accelerated learning and the human brain could process and great quantity of the material if given the right conditions for the learning which are the state of relaxation like he has asserted very good sentence like learning is a matter of attitude not aptitude and so let's see what is suggestopedia. That the Suggestopedia, I already said that it is the method which is used in the foreign English language teaching. Like this is method is a teaching method based on a modern understanding of the students and brain work and how we learn most effectively. Because if we compare our classroom from the traditional to now in modern classes, then there is a lot of, or we can say, huge difference between both the classes and or also the understanding of the student are changing year by year. So the term Suggestopedia is derived from a suggestion and pedagogy, which is a very good term which refer to similar accelerated learning approaches. And a set of learning recommendations derived from a suggestology this is draw attention towards how we are pursuing the thing, and like it is also related to yoga and Soviet psychology. Like if we are want to students to make more more attentively, then we are using yoga or everything for the meditation or everything. So this is also is some kind of a method which is like a yoga like innovative strategy of Suggestopedia. So there are some kind of elements which is used in Suggestopedia that how we are learning in this, what is the benefit of and how students can engage with this method. Like music is background music that when a teacher are teaching to the student at the time some kind of very good attractive, that means it which gives the peace to the mind of the student that kind of music is playing on the background. Like and relaxation. Relaxation is exercise before the beginning of the lesson. While teacher going to start their lesson before they have given some of the time to for the relaxation of the exercise for the student. Like David Esselman and Making who is talked about it. And another one is suggestion or one direct verbal suggestion without any bias or they are communicating direct one to another. Like in learning will be easy for you. In that work, Churchill and Beacon in the 1986, he has talked about this kind of a suggestion and direct method that they are using for the suggestion and communication with the student. And another one is presentation, which helps to relax and move into a positive frame of mind. That is a very good term, or we can say the space is given to the student. Like nowadays, we are also presenting our presentation that is also enhance our what we have learned and how we are at the same time how we are able to present that what we have learned. Like first concert and active concert, that is also important thing which is included in the Suggestopedia is the active presentation of the material to be learned. And another one is the second consent and passive review. which is not directly or actively participated by the student, but in a indirectly they are giving a review of what they have learned, like listen to some music with the text being read and very quietly and practice. Users game puzzles to consolidate the learning during the classroom of the target language. Like if we have learned anything, then we have some kind of a quiz and puzzles to know that how much students have learned and how much they are able to grasp it deeply or just only a shallow. Like we have also the quiz after the all the units. Like the same thing, it is as a part of the dystopidia. Benefits of the strategies or benefits or of this dystopidia. Like teacher can teach language approximately 3 times as quickly as the conventional method. As I said, that modern terms, when the online learning is started, that then a student also become a very faster than before they were. So may the teacher and student both they are finding or they are facing some problem with the online teaching or like the same thing which if anyone who is adopted this suggestive method for teaching, they may facing some of this problem at the first time, but they afterward they become familiar with this and feel relaxed in the reading without the pressure. In this term, they student more indirectly, they are able to read without any pressure or a mental stress. And narrative text, that means a text in a narrative form. And a student might enjoy the reading. That means in schools, you can find the student just listening the teacher what they are saying. This is method is also very good. But at this time, the same similar music will be related to story or whatever the teacher are teaching, like related to music. Uh, that is related to music of that story, it will be played in background. And performance level increase after post phase. And it is true that before the all the methods were used compared to it, suggestopedia is a very good term, or we can say method. And significant impact of the use of suggestopedia for enhancing learners' language ability. So it also enhance or improve the how the before students have a vocabulary or how they are reacting towards the English language and how they have improved now. There is a lot of difference between when they have come go through the suggestivity. And aim of my presentation, like how the suggestopedia is useful for us. For that research, I have selected this topic and to observe a link between student and curriculum. And our teacher using various innovative strategies for the effective learning or and teaching or not. Because in pandemic, lots of students or teachers they are against of the online learning and they don't like, but now it is necessary for everyone to learn through this platform, otherwise it will be for that maybe education system there will be lacking something. So for that online education now is important. So how for student and teacher are the comfortable with this method to show that how Wikipedia is useful for student or a teacher. For that, I have selected this presentation and I have presented it all the things. And teacher and student can solve those problems by adopting innovative strategies. So these are my citations for my presentation. And thank you, everyone.
Yeah, okay, good, well presented. It was also a very good one. Okay, okay. So the next presenter now is Dhara. Yes,
Yes, sir.
Dhara. Yeah, okay. Yeah, please share your screen and make your presentation.
So today's subject, English language teaching, I would like to present the grammar translation method. This is also considered as the classical method because this is the oldest method, considered as the oldest method in teaching. So this is the various aspect of grammar translation method. And first of all, let's see what is the grammar translation method. Then this is a method of foreign or a second language teaching, which makes a use of translation or a grammar study as the main teaching and learning activities. And it was also called the classical method. And because this is the oldest and traditional method of teaching, and especially in India, this method is used as to teach a second language like English. And but in Europe, this method was used to teach the Greek and Latin for several years. But in English, this method is arrived with arrival of Britishers in the this method was introduced in India, and this is also used for teach a second language like English in India. And the grammar translation method is mainly emphasized in the translation of words, English words, phrases, passages into or from the mother tongue of learners. And the Thompsons and Wade also gave a three principles on in which this method is based, like the translation interprets foreign phraseology based. Here we can interpret the foreign phraseology by the translation of this language, like L2 is considered as a English, and our mother tongue like Gujarati, or it can be Hindi also. And here the second principle is that the foreign phraseology is best assimilated by the learners in the process of interpretation. We can interpret the foreign phraseology best by the translation of the language. And here the structure of the foreign language is best learned when compare and contrast with the mother tongue. Here we can compare and contrast with mother tongue with L2 or foreign language, and we can learn with best way through this grammar translation method. And there is another principle of this method is that the classes are taught in the mother tongue with a little active use of the target language. Here through the we can learn the target language by using the little active use of target language. But this is throughout this method we can use the mother tongue also. And much vocabulary is taught in the form of list of isolated words. Here the vocabulary play a vital role in the translation. And grammar provides the rules for putting words together, and instruction often focus on the form and inflection of the words. Here in the translation method, grammar play a vital role in both languages, L1 and L2, for translation. And reading of difficult classical texts is begun earlier. Little attention is paid to the content of the text, which are treated as an exercise in grammatical analysis. Here we can use the classical text for a translation, or we can find we can do a various grammatical analysis through the translation or interpretation of the classical text. And often the only drills are exercises in translating the disconnected sentences from the target language into the mother tongue language. And here in this grammar translation method, we can find both merit as well as demerits. So first let's know what is the merits of the grammar translation method. Then this is the increase the vocabulary, because in this method, the grammar translation method, we can mainly do the activities of translation from mother tongue into foreign language like English, or foreign language of English into the mother tongue. And throughout this process of translation, we can find various vocabulary and various words which are unknown until this translation working activities, and through this makes a teaching activity very easy, as well as save the times and energy, and make the learners strong memory bonds in established. And through this grammar translation method, we can understand the words very clear with clarity, and can be easily understand in overcrowded class. In this method, the grammar translation method, one of the most merits we can say that this can be used in overcrowded classes. And there are some demerits also, like the skill of speaking and listening are not developed or can be emphasized in this grammar translation method, because the grammar translation method is mainly focused on the translation from L1 to L2 or L2 to L1, and focus on mainly grammar. But here the skill of speaking and listening are not developed, or this remain undeveloped. And another demerits is that the literal translation ruins the charm of language. Here, the main in this method, the learners are translating the words or sentences L1 to L2 or L2 to L1. But here the some literal through by the literal translation, we can also find some ruin the charm of language. For example, here our mother tongue, like Gujarati, we use the words like words or proverbs like આવરે વરસાદ ધબરિયો વરસાદ uni uni રોટલી ને કારેલાનું શાક. And if we this sentence translated into English, then for special words ધબરિયો પ્રસાદ, we cannot find the proper words in English language. So here and in English also, some words we cannot find in proper words for in Gujarati as a mother tongue, and it prevents the students from thinking directly in English. Here the main process is that the translation of foreign language into mother tongue or mother tongue into foreign. But here this we can use, here we use both languages, L1 as well as L2. But we are so using the L1 mother tongue, it can be ruin our thinking process directly in English, which we want to teach as a direct language English. And it gives a rare opportunity to students to practice speaking. Here the translation is a main focus in this method. So the practice of speaking as a skill we cannot develop. So this is the grammar translation method. And type we call some teaching techniques of this method is the translation of passages and antonyms, synonyms, cognates, fill in the blanks, memorization, make the sentences, comprehension as well as composition, reading the comprehension, and speaking. Through this technique we can make a much more effective this method, the grammar translation method. And this is my work citation from which I take, and thank you.
Okay, good. Well presented. Good. More of these examples of Gujarati into English might have been given to make it more interesting. So then you are contributing from your side into
Okay,
the theories which are developed by the European ELT experts. But how do you see as a Gujarati speaker that becomes more interesting? Yeah. Okay. Next one is who is the next presenter?
So me, Bharti.
Bharti. Yes. Yeah. Bharti. Yeah. Please start your presentation.
Good morning to everyone. Today I am going to present about total physical response. The origins of total physical response. The total physical response is a language teaching method developed by James Escher, a professor emeritus of psychology at St. Joe's State University. It is based on the coordination of language and physical movement. In TPR, instructor give commands to student in the target language with body movements, and students respond with whole body actions. So let's see what is TPR. Total physical response is a method of teaching language or vocabulary concepts by using physical movement to react to verbal inputs. The process mimics the way that infants learn their first language and reduce students' inhibition and lower stress. Why consider TPR? The pairing of moment with language is innately associated with effective learning. Students actively use both the left and right side of their brains. It works with both small and large groups. It sharpens students' listening skill. As no one is called upon individually, TPR is great for introverted students. Limited material or planning means it's simple for teaching to prepare. Application of TPR. There is reading, writing, vocabulary and structure are most important application for TPR. Reading, predicting and skill and reading the text. Writing, making dialogue and picturing. Vocabulary, reality, demonstration and conversation. Structure, reality, demonstrations. Feature of total physical responses. The coordination of speech and action facilitates language learning. Grammar is taught inductively. Meaning is more important than form. Speaking is a delay until comprehension skills are established. Effective language learning takes place in a low stress environment. So there is some advantages and disadvantages of TPR. Let's see first advantages. It is a fun and easy tool to teach. It is a good tool for learning vocabulary. Class size doesn't need to be a problem. There is no age barrier. There is some disadvantages also. It is not a very creative method. It is easy to overuse TPR. It is limited since everything cannot be explained with this method. It must be combined with the other approaches also. Conclusion. Thus, we can say that total physical response is a very important in education system, because the total physical response seems to be work effect for the children and the adult, and there is no age barrier. Total physical response is one of the teaching method that emphasize active learning through action. It means that learners speaking skill through listening to teacher and before requiring them to speak. There are some references. Thank you.
Yes, okay, a good one. Yes, next presenter is Asha.
Yes, sir. Good morning to everyone, and today I am here with fourth presentation. This is our last presentation, which is on ELT, English Language Teaching. So as we know that every community have a different language, and within that particular culture, the language have its own meaning and its own essence. So my topic for today's presentation is how socio-cultural dimensions of English is influenced when we are learning English as a second language, and how English is used in advertisement in India within the cultural dimensions of India. So first, see, some of the objectives of my presentation is to analyze how English language used within social and cultural dimensions of India. And this presentation also tried to highlight how advertisement using the hybridized language, hybridized form of English within India to attract audience. So before we go into deep, let's see some of the difference between, let's see meaning of language and culture. So language and culture both are interconnected. So language, as Douglas Brown pointed out, that language is a part of culture and culture is a part of language. So these two are intricately interwoven, so that one cannot separate the two without losing the significance of either of a language or either of a culture. So language is not an isolated entity which exists individually, but language exists within culture, or culture exists within language. So language is deeply rooted in social cultural dimensions of society, and it also affects the native speaker's life. So what is interconnection between English language and culture? So as we know, there is a close association between the form of language, the structure of language, and the cultural activity which is done in society. So if we are speaking a particular language, then we are also speaking that particular language within that particular society or culture. As Franz Fanon says in his work, Black Men and White Skin, Black Skin and White Mask. So a man who has a language consequently possesses the world expressed and implied by that language. So if we are speaking a language or learning any language of any nation or anything, then along with that, we are also possessing the culture of that particular nation or society or area. So what is the difference between foreign language and second language? In India, we are learning English as a second language. So first we have to differentiate what is difference between foreign language and second language. So foreign language is not one's own language, and the purpose of absorbing the foreign language is the culture of also absorbing the culture of that particular nation. While the second language is a reformed form of one's own language. If we own a second language, that particular language we own within our native language. And second language also an alternative way of expressing a culture of one's own. So foreign language is produced bilingual with a passive and receptive attitude, while the second language produces bilingual with active and creative interest. So let's see how English is learned by Indian people as a second language. So we English in India it can be seen as an Indianized form of English in India. Then English is a kind of a manipulation of language which we used in India, which is Indianized form. We try to convert English language within our culture and within our society. So socio-cultural codes of Indian culture are deeply infused in Indianized form of English. And the creative writers have, whenever a creative writer is writing any kind of work of art, then they are composing two languages, which is of a native language as well as English as a second language. So we can see the effect of native language within that second language in which they are writing. And the words from native language are, some of the words from native language are directly absorbed into English, and then they are used as a day-to-day language. So when we use English in India as a second language, then we see the hybrid form of English. So, and we also see the hybrid form of English in Indian media. So linguistically, what is the meaning of hybridization? So if we see hybridization in language, then hybridization is the merging of a two language to form a new one. And fusion of English and Indian languages in India. We can see the hybrid form of English in India. In media, we can see the creative mixing of language to produce a deeper impact on the audience mind. So let's see some examples of advertisement. That Ching's Secret is a brand which is became famous in India as a desi Chinese food. So let's see advertising journey of this particular brand. So this particular brand first introduced in India during 1980s, and during 1987 there are only 5 to 4 restaurants in India. But after a couple of years, there is a instant rise in the interest of people in this Chinese food, and we see the Chinese food stall in 1990 beyond around 10,000 stalls. So for this particular brand to establish their place in India, there is a great challenge to convince a multilingual audience, because India is a very diverse country where different people are using different language. So elements of hybridization helps this brand to bridge the linguistic barriers, and they introduced the concept of Desi Chinese, which attract Indians a lot, because they are more in a favor of Desi things. And this brand started its journey on the platform. First, they came up with idea to started their journey with unique idea. They first made their account on Facebook, and there we can see around 100,000 followers on Facebook. To attract audience or to grasp the audience attention, they used only one strategy, which is to the strategy was very simple. So they used a language which is used by Indians. So Indians are using the hybridized form of English. So they used to use a mixing of Hindi and English language within their advertisement, so they can attract more audience. So here we can see some of the examples, like examples of instant noodles, that Ching's noodles are mind-blowing. Then there is another example of instant soup, that 1 minute hunger ki bajao. And there is another example of Szechuan chutney. Then so in that particular examples, they are using the hybridized form of English to attract audience. And after that, we can see the rise of their followers. So after their advertising and their strategies to attract audience, we can see the rise of their followers also in YouTube page, on Facebook page, and Twitter. There are, you can see on Twitter around there are 1060 there are 2965 followers, and on YouTube also there are lot many subscribers. There are around 359,000 subscribers on YouTube also. So at the conclude, we can see that to connect the larger audience, the hybridized form of language is used in India, which is Indianized form of English, and to infuse socio-cultural codes of a native language in second language helps to attract larger audience. This is how a manipulation of English language happens within a native language. Because we are learning English as a second language, and this is how the language is manipulated to express antithetically the context and the culture of India. So we can say that English, which is used in India, have its own, which is intermingled with the culture and context of India. And English, of course, came in India with the colonization, but now English has found its new ways of spreading its influence, and mainly through technological developments, economic globalization, and improved global communication. So here are some of the references from which I have taken some sources. And thank you. If anyone have a question, they can either put in a chat box or they can ask. Thank you.
Yes, well presented. Good examples are also given to prove the point. Now, see, a couple of points that you have to keep in mind. This was found in earlier presentations also. Like, for example, you cited Fanon. Yeah? Fanon, but the Fanon was not cited at the end. Yes, then Gredol. Last slide was about David Gredol. So you're citing David Gredol. But what is the source? From where have you cited David Gredol? So that was not found. Yes.
The quotation of David Gredel is taken from this Yadav, Sneha Yadav's. No, this is from Douglas Brown's article, Principle of Language Learning and Teaching. From that article it is taken. I am trying to find that article, but I am not able to find his sentence which is written in his work. So then I cited that article from which I have taken that.
Yes.
And I forgot to cite Franz Fanon.
But this Douglas, so when you do in-text citation, in that parenthesis, you have put Gredol. So now in-text citation and at the end of the citations, at the end of the presentation, these two should match with each other. They should match. This is called in-text, and then at the end of the text. So in-text means within the slides you have made citations, and then at the end means last list of the citations. So if you have put there, I know how it should match alphabetically. So if anybody wants to cross-verify your claim or your argument that you are putting, that will Gredol said, see. So if I want to verify it, I will go to G in work cited, and I will see, is there anything in G, Gredol, David, then what is that? Now, if it is not there, then it is not matching with each other. So then, otherwise you have to put there the source which you have done, Douglas Brown. You have to put there as you can say as cited by Douglas Brown.
Yes, sir.
So then people will go to Brown, and they will say Brown, and then they will verify that. So that is how in text and at the end of the text, citation has to match with each other.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Who is the next one? Last one, I think today. Amit. Yes. Yes, Amit. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Hello everyone. In paper number 12, today I am going to present about the characteristics of teacher and learners in English language teaching. So let's we see first about the introduction about the characteristic of learner and teacher. So in English language teaching is connected to classroom teaching. It's play a very significant role in engrossing the students' attention. So to acquire good communication skill or to excel in communication skill, one has to acquire exercise to all the four skills. They are listening, verbal communication, interpretation, and encryption skills. Before a student acquire with all these skills, he or she has to develop interest towards the subject or language. So a teacher should play various roles such as learner, facilitator, assessor, manager, and evaluator. These are the characteristics of any teacher in a classroom. What are the characteristics? So So that all are mentioned here. Before teaching the student, a teacher has to first place himself as a learner and think from the learner's perspective. So here we can see that any teacher who sees the perspective of learner and then to teach. In a classroom, teacher roles can be discussed with a learner, a part of a student preparation, along with the other characteristic of curriculum. Learners can imagine about what roles they wish for their teacher, how this inclination fits in with other aspect of their learning method, and why the teacher choose every role. So, what are the roles of teacher and learners? We see one by one. So, first we see teacher as a learner. So, any teacher who is a learner, first he or she know about the learner and see the view of the perspective of a learner and student. Then a teacher teach any topic. Like though we find many changes in the education system, the role of teacher will remain the same, but with a slight change. The teacher's job is to convince the student that education fulfills the need and learning in the classroom. A teacher has to think from the learner's perspective before she or he plans to interact with the students. So in a classroom, teacher is first to see the perspective of the learner and student, then any topic to discuss in the classroom. Then teacher is a facilitator. Teachers are concerned about them, and thus teachers should become the best facilitator to the student in all the aspects. As a facilitator, she or he has to direct and support students in learning for themselves as a self-explorer. So teacher give to create an environment to show the all activities to show and do all the activities by student in the classroom. Teacher is a assessor. Assessing is the effective tool for making students learn perfectly. A teacher, before assessing a student, has to first assess their own conclusions as the what extent to student will be benefits with their current assessment. An assessment makes a teacher to plan for her future teaching techniques and in guiding them to master their language. So teacher also as an assessor to what he or she teaching in the classroom. So that are the benefits for the future. What are the changes are doing in the teaching in the classroom? Teacher is a manager. Here we can see the teacher is a manager. So he or she know about the time and any teaching topic. So which time that's completed that topic, that also see the teacher in classroom. So we can say that one of these characteristics, the teacher is a manager of the classroom and manage the class. How to manage class, to see the time of the class and also other things. Perfect classroom management by a teacher using the major machine is used by a teacher in the classroom. Teacher is an evaluator. We know teacher is an evaluator. Teacher also know about which type of student have a progress in her or their class. So teacher is an evaluator of the students in the classroom. Teacher has to be an effective evaluator while evaluating the student. True and fair evaluation should be done by a teacher in order to do justice to a student's career. So that evaluate to make a career of the students. How that evaluate to different students means some students are very high and some medium and low. So that are evaluating by the teacher in the classroom. So that is one of the characteristic teacher as an evaluator. Then we see the characteristic of the role of English, role of the learners. So first, learning involves change. So learning involves to come to change. It is a reconstruction, combined thinking, skill, information, and appropriation in a single unity process. Here we see one example. When a child learns to read, they can retain this knowledge and behavior for the rest of their lives. It is not always reflected in performance. The change from the learning may not be clear until a situation arise in which the new behavior can occur. So that is the learning involves to change to students. So that is one characteristic about learner. And the second, learning involves activities. Means learning involves activities to the learners. Any learners to participate in any type of activities that are the learning process by the students. These activities involve either physical or mental activity in the classroom done by any teacher. They may be simple mental activities of complex involving various muscles, bones, etc. So also the mental activities may be very simple involving one or two activities or mind or complex which involve higher mental activities. Learning requires interaction. So learning process required interaction to the student. So the student can easily understand any topic teaching by the teacher in classroom. At the time of learning, the individual is constantly interacting with and influenced by the environment. So that interaction create an environment. Which type or what type of teacher teach in the classroom. So and create the atmosphere that interaction. So that is the learning requires interaction in the classroom. This experience makes him change or modify his behavior to deal effectively with it. Then constituent learning. To constitute learning, the change should be permanent. Temporary change may be only reflective and fails to represent any learning. So that is the constitute learning means progress of learning, not only one-time learning and stop. That is not learning process, but constitute learning by the students. That is one characteristic of the learner. Learning is a lifelong process. So learning is a lifelong process of gaining and using the information presented to a person. It is not a static. It is not only for educational purpose, but only the learning is a lifelong process after the complete education. That is also learning is a process of lifelong. A person never stops acquiring new information. It keeps a person's mind active and aware, but also conscious of the world around them. Experience is necessary for learning. So that is the very effective characteristic of the learner, not learner, but all people. Experience is necessary for learning anything, not only in education. We can get the experience from direct observation or from formal approaches to learning such as training, mentoring, coaching and teaching. We compare the simple ways in which a child feels and behaves with the complex mode of adult behavior, his skills, habits, sentiments, and like we will know what difference learning has made to the individual. So here we can see one by one all the characteristic of learners and teachers in also in English language teaching. These are the some point of references. Thank you.
Okay, good one. Yes. Fine. So with this, we end the presentations of all the students. Let me remind you to complete your peer and self-evaluation in the form. So quickly log into the online form and complete your evaluation. And best wishes to all of you for your university examinations. Yeah? From 7th December, your exams are beginning. And so wish you all the best. I hope you might have started completing your assignment and take-home test assignment, also one written assignment and one take-home test assignment also. And you will very quickly submit it in Google Classroom also. By 5th, you will submit it. And the the handwritten copies, the handwritten one, the printed one, you will submit before 12th of December. That is after your exams. You have to submit those things. All the exam preparations are done by university, but because of Corona, things are going on like whether we can only hope that the exams are not postponed and the exams are conducted on due time, and there is no postponement like last time. You were almost ready for exam and overnight the things were postponed. In couple of universities, exams are postponed because of a lot many cases in cities like Ahmedabad. But conditions in Bhavnagar are in a way normal, and let us hope it remains normal for upcoming days, so that your exams are not disturbed in this. So wish you all the best for your complete the tasks which are remaining, and for your university exams also. Okay?